I'm your host, Reena Friedman Watts, and this is the Better Call Daddy Show.
Hey, this is Big Daddy, Wayne Friedman.
That's my grandpa. Grandpa, you ready for more daddy drama?
My dad is my number one hero and number one fan.
And I'm a pretty cool dude.
All right, season 4, baby. Here we go.
More stories you're not going to believe.
And maybe you will after you listen.
5 stars.
5.5 stars, 2 thumbs up.
You are a pretty cool dude.
I love you, Mommy.
Don't stand on the table and damn the public. You'll get some words of wisdom to live by.
Here we go again. Better call Daddy.
You know what your problem is? You like me.
Yeah, I do. Each week, I interview a guest, share the stories with my dad, and then he weighs in at the end of every episode with his wisdom and wit.
Hey, Grandpa.
Everyone from influential players to inspirational fathers, and of course, controversial people.
Grandpa, my mommy's calling.
Creating that legacy one call at a time. And welcome to the Better Call Daddy Show.
Stay tuned.
Where's the music?
Better call Daddy 'cause he knows you best. Better call Daddy 'cause he's bringing the zest. He sees possibilities. Such possibilities. Better call Daddy, he'll be by your side. Better call Daddy, you're the apple of his eye. He sees all that you can be. All that you can be.
Hey, my name is Mike Ashabraner. I am professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business. Really excited about being on the Better Call Daddy Show.
Meet Mike Ashabraner. Camo hat on, deep in the woods, first time on the Better Call Daddy Show. More people need to know about this guy. Mike, welcome. Talk to me about how you developed confidence.
To be honest, I didn't have any. I thought I did here and there. I was a firefighter. Honestly, true confidence comes from self-worth and doesn't need external validations. I started growing it authentically a year and a half ago and really just started landing on that. So that's where our mantra, right? You know, the Hounds principles, things I've learned. Confidence, courage before confidence. People talk about me putting on my hat, and look, it's not a costume. I did Larry the Cable Guy in reverse because I got tired of not being me. No, seriously, I said, if I can't be myself and find a way that's authentic to me and create a business, then I'm going to go be a rodeo clown or some shit I can't be successful at. I was just sick and tired. I grew courage through trial and error, screwing it up, getting beat up, and blindly trying to find it. What am I missing? Is it internal? Is it external? Usually it's both. There's no cookie cutter answer. Just don't keep repeating the same mistake. Courage comes with practice, and then you find confidence through that because you will win. It might take a long time if you're hard-headed, but you'll find a way, you know, and then that's the mantra. And it is so much easier to find a way when you're around supportive people that share your values and alignment. And, you know, that's exactly why I grudgingly finally took the Hounds of Business, right? Stopped resisting that and said, I'm not alone. There's a lot of good people out here.
Only a year and a half ago, you got confidence. What was before that? Tell me some mistakes you've made.
I thought, who wants to hear from a guy that's just started climbing the mountain of success or business in his 40s? Well, apparently a lot of people, and I figured it out by asking people, because the self-help section and the business section of the bookstore is mostly crap, right? 95% of it just, I don't know. So if you're like me and you have all passion and no clue, right? And you're somebody that wanted to be something special, be your best self, you know, start a business. So you can go out there and really tackle all the issues that make you sad, the things you went through. You want to go out there and make it better. Since COVID, Reena, you've seen it. People have a desire to make an impact. Friends of mine, regular nurses switched to oncology because their daughter and a family had, you know, cancer. So then that's not enough. They're like, hey, somebody needs to fix this. They're regular people, right? And so they go out there and they do it anyway. Like that, all the crap, all the unexpected, right? Challenges, debts, all the things we go through. People have an impact to make. They want to make something different. All the injustice, inequality, kids running without coats. That's what this is about. The Hounds is why. We do things different. Most won't cure cancer. They won't help the veterans. They won't build the business because they don't have the resources, people, and support. That's where we come in. Come as you are. Grow together, push each other up. It's sad because you can. Stop telling yourself, stop letting people say you can't. Most of the time, you use the wrong tool for the job. There's nothing wrong with you. I found out 3 years ago, it wasn't people rejecting me or my value in my business. That you can do it. We're going to go out there and do it. Thousands of heart-centered, high-level professionals, people who want to see a real impact in this world. We're going to go get it done. So the next time there's kids running around underserved communities without coats, I'm going to buy them all a coat and no one's going to know I did it. That's the heart of who we are. That's why all the other stuff we do works. We put the who before the what.
What happened in the first first 40 years?
I was Rocky Balboa, all passion, no clue. Life beat me up constantly. Some reason I keep getting up. A lot of challenges in between there. I'll tell you what changed. Over a year ago, I woke up at that fork in the road and I said, I'm responsible. Childhood, adulthood, all these challenges we go through. It didn't mean I did it to myself. Doesn't mean it was right or fair. But I had to accept personal responsibility. I had to accept that everything in my life, good or bad, is up to me, my response. When that happened, the second thing that follows is the other crappy part of this romanticized self-improvement journey. It's awful. I see why I buried my head in the sand, why people drink and did stuff I do. Once you say it's up to me, nobody's coming to rescue me, I've got to figure this out. Next step is personal responsibility. It's awareness. And then saying, I'm not happy. I've got to take charge. That means going deep inside. We think we have a marketing and business problem, but oftentimes we have, just equally or just as important or more so, an inner problem. For me, it was confidence, right? Well, where'd that come from? Lack of self-worth, not feeling loved, not feeling good enough. That turned into being a doormat and all these things I had to overcome. But it didn't take that long, even 40 years of that. It took about 1 year with guidance, desire, will, and pure determination to find the people, the resources, the things I needed for that to heal. We're changing lives. And my business will only grow to the level I'm willing to grow. My business will only grow to the level I'm willing to grow inside as a human. If I'm not good in an area, I got to fix that. Opportunities abound. It's like a video game. Level 1, fix that crap, and now you're at level 2. Stop wishing problems away. Warren Buffett has money problems, so do we. The difference is he's trying to pay less in taxes because he makes too much. I'm trying to have his problem. Stop thinking, I'll get to this point. No, you keep improving until you die or decide to quit. Right? You hit the level and you're just going to sit on the beach. But to me, it's way bigger than me. I really want to make an impact. I hate to see kids and people like me falling off the cliff. If I can wave them down before they fall, that's why we exist, especially in the business arena.
I love that answer. Didn't you drink at one point?
Oh, yeah. 8 years now, recovering alcoholic. Buried in the head in the sand. I didn't want to face all that. Childhood was not great. We take it into adulthood, and then we wonder why we got problems. And that's my biggest thing is, hey, we all have problems. Most people are just better hiding than you are. Think about that. You can't fool me. You see this big old nose? Man, it's a bloodhound for winners and BS, right? So observing people so well, being so empathic and understanding it, and realize we're all jacked up. I only want to work with people who are ready at the moment, not judging other people, right? I mean, how many healthy alcoholics do you know? So I don't judge people. I had people in my life who loved me, but couldn't engage with me because it was unhealthy. As soon as I decided to take that fork in the road, go down that path, then they're there. Right? Fast forward about a year or so ago, somebody picked up the phone, a friend of mine, and out of nowhere, and I was going through stuff too, but they started talking about their alcoholic issues, like with their family and all the things they're going through. And for 2.5 hours, I opened up. I don't do the sponsor thing. I don't need to go to me. So I said, I have an opportunity to help somebody, right? That's who I am. So I talked to him and then I hung the phone up and here's what I said. Man, ain't nobody gonna listen to me, right? I don't even know if I made sense, but I did my best and I hung the phone up. About 3 weeks ago, I heard nothing back. I got nervous. I called them. Guess what? This is when I knew. I was like, I have to commit to this path. Guess what? Everybody took my advice. The other person was on a sobering path for 2 weeks and people listened. It blew my mind. I said, I want to be a catalyst. I want to see more of it. If my crappy experience and mistakes and all that stuff, it actually means something now. How can we put them in the ecosystem? So you're not broken. As long as you got the right heart and mind, we got the resources. We got all that stuff. But you have to be ready. You have to be aware and you have to be ready to accept responsibility. And how that looks is different for others, but it's nasty. Don't think it's just reading the Brene Brown book and being fine. You have to do the work. When you read the book, dive in. We're oak trees in a sea of tumbleweeds, right? We're not caravanning one day and doing whatever the hell's, marketable, right? Oh, I'm a lawn care expert one day and a branding expert another. No, I'm who I am all the time. If I lost lots of money, I have, because it's who I am. That's the farming approach. Don't go to your grave just wishing and full of regret. Get out there and make shit happen. And all that stuff that you're dealing with, that's your superpower. That's not a reason to shy. Look, all that stuff I thought was pointless and shameful. You know how many lives I can impact now?
I want to know what you thought was shameful. What made you drink?
Just growing up crap. I grew up very hard, alcoholic atmosphere, domestic violence, very difficult. Instead of growing, I was raised. But I had grandparents. I had an example of what not to do, but also an example of how to be. My grandpa and grandmother, very good working class people. My grandfather, very influential, respected everywhere. Didn't talk much. I didn't get that gene. He was a good, stable force. My grandmother was there. They took care of me. I probably would be, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for them. Not as good as I am today.
I love that because sometimes you have relationships with other people, strong relationships that you wouldn't have if you didn't have the other relationship.
Yeah. And I grew up with both, like, what kind of not to do and what to do. Still, they didn't have the confidence to understand who I am, right? I got 2 daughters, 12 and 6. Cute little hillbillies, man. They're everything.
I saw you teaching your daughter how to ride a bike.
Yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. Yeah. And then she did it and I had to document it. But I hear my daughters, well, my oldest, and I'm like, you know what? People don't grow up. I see the same thing with 45, 55-year-old people, right? It's still the same kind of blah, 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 and DDD. And at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of inner child, children running around together. And I think that's it. You got to go online. You got to get a book. You got to talk to people. I've made more successes asking, who do you know? Who can help me? Don't go at people like, let's do business. You might scare them off. Go love on them a little bit. If they put an article out, what do they want? Go read their article. I want people to get unstuck. I don't care if you say yes or no to me. Know what you're saying yes and no to. If something can be life-changing, base that on all the information you can get. Before you say no to that community or thing or job, research it. Do yourself a favor. Do that person a favor. I was talking to Peter George. He's a good guy. He's a stand-up speaker. He told me the same thing. He got on a call, told the guy no, and then thought about it. He said, I don't know if I got all the info. So he picked the phone back up, said, give me the info if you don't mind, my bad. The guy did. And then he said no. How many opportunities did you miss and you're running around talking about I ain't got none? Over 10 years of getting told no. Look, you see that? I got hair. See that receding hairline? That's from getting told no and still fighting back. That led to the hounds because when I went to market, I didn't know how to translate. I was really good at that in person, leading a nonprofit, right? I knew how to dance. Dating and business, no difference. Listen, guys, if you wouldn't do the shit in dating, don't do it in marketing. That'll change your business life right there. All right. Seriously. You don't run up in DMs and, hey, I saw your YouTube channel and all this crap I did wrong. So going out there and trying to get people, I wrote the article on LinkedIn about this. It wasn't me. It was my approach. When I stopped trying to focus on me and my business, that's when the Hounds of Business journey took off. I was like, what if I just loved on people? I was tired. I didn't want to spend the next 40 years getting told no and hunting for sales. So I said, I'm going to let myself out. I had a mentor that helped me through this. And that was it. And instead of focusing on me, I focused on pushing everybody else up. So I did. I learned LinkedIn. Guess what? I started teaching other people how to be successful on LinkedIn. And here's what I told them. I'll stop. The very first hound, one of the very first success stories, the first. I said, listen, everybody wants the big fish, Joe Rogan and Oprah. Look at who you're talking to. I got a waiting list. I'm in the back of the line. So I decided, what if I found Joe Rogan and Oprah before they're Joe Rogan and Oprah? What if I found people that I knew could be successful? And what if I helped them, push them, cheerlead them? I became an impromptu dating coach. Anything was on the table. I could help people with any daggone thing. We had people making millions offline but couldn't figure it out. We had people that started their business in their 40s, newly divorced. I told them, listen, I'm going to help you, right? Continue that. Guess what? You don't believe this yet, but guess what? You're going to make $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Not overnight. Guess who's going to come after you when you do that, when you have that kind of money? She said, everybody. I said, yeah, everybody's going to come after and want to work with you, but you're going to tell them, no, thank you. The redneck was here when I was broke. I'm going to stick with him. Will you do that for me if that happens? She said, yes. So that's what happened. We're here and thriving. Obviously it worked. She worked with me. Here's what I wasn't ready for. She sent her mom, grandma, sisters, everybody, colleagues. When's the last time you saw, I love my financial guy, blah, 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 on a post on social media? Never. But we got a formula. You don't see that. And I realized, holy cow, we got a formula. It's not an accident. This is for people who feel inauthentic, trying to pretend not to sell, work on their persuasion, and introverts trying to be extroverts, like a dog trying to meow. It's ridiculous. Stop it. So that's the kind of stuff we try to figure out. Now's the time, right? It's the present moment. Now's the time to get up. So, I'm too old. I'm too poor. Really?
How long were you in the fire department?
Oh, gosh, 8 years? It was a while back. As soon as I hit 18, I signed up. Now, look back. It's hilarious. I used to jump on burning buildings and cut holes. In my 40s, there's a dog toy on my roof for 2 years. I went up there. I ain't making this up. I climbed the ladder and said, this looks high. And I climbed back down. Am I losing my edge? No. I'm just getting smarter. I don't need a broken arm at 43. But if there was a baby up there, I'd go right up there and get it. Don't try to be somebody. Don't try to be Rocky. You find the inspiration. Marcus Aurelius said it. Instead of debating what a good man looks like, just go be one. I believe that 100%. And no matter what the hell's happening around me, no matter how many people want to badmouth or any chaos or challenges and, political climates, that's it. I could be a good man. You could be a good woman.
Did you want to be a dad? What does being a good man mean to you?
So when I first started the business, I spent 2 years not seeing much of them because I had to pay the bills. I was in panic mode. I didn't want to be homeless, and there was nobody to save me. That was very difficult. I had to realize this is not sustainable. This sucks. Yes, I have to provide and hunt for food and all that caveman stuff for families, that dad's got to do. That's not it. I don't want to look back on my life and go, well, So what I did was last year, I couldn't believe it. I went to the beach one time. I was able to work so hard and still, I took my family to the beach. Here was the best moment of 2024, maybe my life. All that hard work, inner journey, making it when nobody would have bet on me, right? And then I'm standing in the ocean and I got my littlest hillbilly on my left and the oldest hillbilly on the right. And just nothing but ocean in front. They're playing carelessly. I did this. I had nothing but dirt and disadvantage my whole life, and I made it this far. So be careful, because we look at other people and go, oh, well, they made it bigger. They made it faster. You suck. Stop. There's opportunity in there, right? I did that, man. I don't remember all the bull stuff and the pain and the dumbass emails. I remember that. Celebrate the win. It doesn't matter if everybody else celebrates. Who cares? Stop worrying about external validation. For a guy like me, huge. I didn't have nothing like that. Every time I encounter something, I'm like, that's why you don't have it yet. Because maybe you're not responsible. Maybe you would act goofy when you got all the success and money. I look at challenges as, here's my best way to summarize it. I turn shit into fertilizer and teach other people to do the same. Seriously, especially in the business sector. Every rejection, I face them all the time. But here's the deal. I find a way to turn it around. I had sponsorship. One of the first sponsors, I did a free one, and they called me. They said, if you do that again, use this QR code. Obviously, it worked, right? Usually they would say, don't do that again, but they didn't hire me. And that was my first attempt. And so that's where people quit. Be like Bruce Lee said, damn it, be like water. I go over, under, around. Man, there's a way. We'll go out the back vent. We'll find it. That's why I do this. Then I realized how to benefit me. So all I did, long story short, was turn them into recruiters. So when they drawn attention to me and what I was doing, people saw goodness. I didn't roll in the mud. I didn't argue. I didn't fall on that level. I said, hey, if that's going to happen, what can I do as a high level? What can I do to fix that, turn that around? Right. So here's the deal. Stop thinking like a chess piece. Everybody wants to be, I did the same thing. I'm a pawn. Now I want to be a bishop. People like you, Reena, I see what you do. I watch. You elevate off that board. Become a chess master. I had coaching clients. We came up with ways where she controlled the budget. You know why? Because we didn't play on the chessboard. I told her, go straight to the CEO, find out what his major problem is, consult and solve his problem. You ain't got to worry about budgetary issues. She was helping him. They hated her. So here's my point. Stop saying no. Use principles, use wisdom, but at the end of the day, do it. Have counsel too. There's stuff I'm glad I didn't do. Courage before confidence. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a hell of a journey. Aim for the stars, grab a tree branch. That's my philosophy. If you don't help millions, I've helped 10, hundreds. That's a legacy. When I die, people say, hey, that guy did good stuff. My kids, that's my epitome, right? When I die, somebody puts my face on a damn oil painting somewhere that's special, because I don't want it now to go to my head, but when I'm dead, put my face up there. My kids know how to continue the legacy. They know how to help people. They don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. This is why I do it. I'm just the guide dog. Time is fast. I'll figure it out. How are you going to do it? Who knows? But haven't you always figured it out, Reena?
Whether it's painstakingly hard or not, right?
Then because you're more resilient, more focused, more in tune. Now the next challenge might be insurmountable, but you're not at level 2 on the video game. You're level 50 now, ready for the challenge. And that's how you have to look at it to be successful. People will leave you. That's when I met Tanya Eberhard of Brand Face. She saw me on the right track and wrong train. I needed branding yesterday, and she helped me out. And she did it because that's the type of person she is. High level, very successful. But guess what? When you do that, the dog comes running. I can't have somebody help me and not do the same. So all this time of this person helping me and her pushing me up, guess what? I'm able to help her now spread the word, bring her quality leads and clients. Wow, right? So how am I going to do it? Go out there. I just talked to Carlos Cicada. He makes my story look like Pretty Woman.
I just spoke to a brand right before this. I'm going to shout out Good Pods. And they saw me using their brand, and they're constantly updating different features, and they wanted to speak to somebody who actually uses it. And they said to me, they complimented me, and they were like, anytime you want to reach out to us, we are approachable. We want to be an approachable brand. I was like, I love brands like that. I love people like that. Be a brand like that. Be a person like that, because that is how you grow.
It's a lot to channel and separate. was going out there. I met business strategists. We worked out trades, built relationships, and I figured it out. That's why the community works. People say, what's your weaknesses? Reena, I ain't got no weakness. I thought about it. I ain't got no weaknesses. Now I'm a 2-time best-selling co-author.
All right, tell me about those works.
Yeah, opportunity, right? Being in the right place, focusing on the right principles, focusing on my responses versus outcomes. That's what I'm talking about. This is what it is. If I had set out to write a book, sweet Jesus, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I've focused on an ecosystem, loving on the right people, finding opportunities, capitalizing on them, bringing value and curiosity, both online and offline. And then I surrounded myself with people who do anthology, people who know their crap, people who have highly ranked shows and podcasts. Now I'm working with somebody on a TV network. I don't know shit about TV network. She does. And you know what? I'm good at getting people's interest, right? Look at this, right? They come for the nuance, but they stay for the substance, right? They come because they're like, what the hell is this? But there's value here. So stop doing it alone. What I do is I put people together. I don't smash them together. I put them together and I foster the ecosystem. Seriously. So I'm just sitting back watching. Everybody's like, I hope it works. Listen to me. It's already done. We just got to realize it. Win first, do battle second. That's it. So how much nicer is that than you going up this stream that you don't even want to be on, trying to bash a square peg in a round hole, trying to become this great persuader and influencer? I don't want to be an influencer. Listen, I'm not knocking it if you want to. Good. Right? I'm kind of jealous of you because I wish that shit worked for me. I do want to be a key person of influence. As a dad, as a husband, as a friend, as a man, as a business owner, just me. Hey, that's it. I influence what? All that shit I was ashamed of, all that stuff I didn't like, all the challenges, all the things I didn't know, right? I mean, I talk about that freely now. Why? Because I'm healing and because you need to hear it, because you won't do the things. I don't want you to be 43 and doing this shit. I want you to be 33, 20. I want my daughter doing it now, right? If she chooses to. So that's it. Work on you, go through the chaos, but boy, it's not as long as you think. It's not as painful as you think, and coming out the other side is well worth it. We're not here to browbeat. What we're doing is planting seeds because somebody planted seeds in me 15, 20 years ago. It took a while. And so when you speak to people and you share and they don't get it, don't stop worrying about the outcome. That's like firing a bullet and then trying to change it midair. Get the hell out of here. The best you could do is to realign, readjust, shoot again. In life and business, stop talking, start doing. Start doing in your life, start doing your business. And when the naysayers or the people that want to truly, engage with you, stop talking and point to shit. That's what I told a guy. Hey, I'll stop here. Guys, you got to have fun with this, man. Having more fun, dropping your script and all this stuff you think. I told a guy the other day, I said, listen, I started laughing during the sales call. I said, I don't know how to do this sales call thing you put me in. I said, listen, here's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to come into the hounds, right? Get to see things, realize I'm not full of crap. And then, hey, I have a solution. I need a solution. And then I interview you. It might be me, might be somebody else, might be Reena, who knows? And then I'll point to shit and you buy it. And he started laughing. I said, yeah. I said, so maybe we need to wait a couple weeks. Like, and that wasn't a sales ploy. That was from the heart. Like, I don't like this. I built the house, so I had to do this and right? And I just told him that. Guess what? Client immediately, right? And that's my calling card. Everything I do, every book, every professor would say, oh, don't do that shit. And that's exactly why I should do it. And maybe that's why you should do it.
Do people try to sell you and you're like, all right, I'm going to entertain this just so I can help them out?
They used to, but they don't anymore. You know why? Because I made an intention. My ecosystem, my messaging, and my quote funnel is so finally, after years of screwing it up, is really on point. You wouldn't call me because you saw what I have to say. You saw what I did. You said, oh, no, thank you. Good. Because I wouldn't want to waste your time nor mine, right? But I do notice a lot of people coming to me going, yeah, let's skip all the bull stuff. And they want to know, because here's how I teach it. Think about this, your sales funnel. And that's why I teach. I don't teach just likes. You don't get paid to get likes. You get paid to solve problems and connect with the person behind the screen. So when you go through this process and you build your funnel and build the things that people need and want and value, and then when they come to the almighty sales call, you see most of us and me turn into a salesperson. Just finish. If you're a coach, then coach them. Coach them. Find out the solution. At this point, you don't have to sell it. They know what the hell they're here for. It's like going to a restaurant and being offended when they're trying to sell you steak. You're a steakhouse, dude. Like, why did you come? Right? So think about that. Don't go into salesy mode. Just start talking to them. Yeah, have your stuff together. But man, that script's out the window. I'm going to talk to you. And I prepared, right? I got stuff for $0, $30, $6,000. I've scaled it on purpose because I don't want to be the guy that you have to have a gazillion dollars to work with. But if you have a gazillion, yes, I got something to sell you, so no, I'm done with it.
I have a package for you too.
Exactly. I don't even talk about it. I got a $50,000 one-on-one a year. Like, who's going to do that? Somebody might, but not everybody, right? Most of them come in $30 in the hounds or whatever we're doing, because it's worth it. Hell, it's just being there is worth it. But again, it's all attraction based. I don't care. Listen, who do we like in dating? Yeah, it's been a while for me too. Do we like the person that's always like, look at my muscles, look at me? Or do we like the person, man or woman, that goes, hey, I would love to take you out. We have a lot of fun, but I got options, right? Like, they're not thirsty. That's exactly what you're trying to create. That's what I built because it's real. If you come in with all that transactional baggage and stuff, I'm going to make you laugh for the fun. It's going to be a comedy show because I need to break that. I don't like that, right? And I know it's not. And I encounter that. I encounter that in social media. I make a comment. People are like, oh, where's the gotcha? Guess what? I'm not here to push you. But see, when you go out and look and you're curious and you come to me and you come to my profile and you see all these super people going, hey, we know instinctively as people, you can't manufacture that. You can't buy that. You're not going to put your reputation on me if it ain't true. You're going to risk your own well-being, your own revenue. So that's why it works, because you know it's real. You don't have to like the shit, but you can't come in the hounds and go, oh, don't work. Come on. But again, if it's not for you, I'll walk you somewhere that is. I have no ego. I'll stop here. I really want to see people get unstuck because it's not just about your business. I've had successful men. This is new to me. Very successful men who fought it. And they even told me through rage, I built the business and all the things in life and I grinded, But now they say, what for? Like what? Now they're thinking about their kids. Now they're thinking about their newborn. Now they're thinking, now what? And I said, when did I become the guide dog for it? Like, well, I don't know the answer. But you know what? My message is getting out there because these guys would hold that shit in. They need to let that shit out. They need to figure that out. They need a safe place where they can come in with other men and women that figure it out. And that's the power of it. See, that's when you know you've hit it. I can go to now I would have cried my ass off if this happened 2 years ago. I ain't gonna lie. If I went to a room full of people and spoke and 1,000 people booed, I'll be all tears. Today, I've said, shit, 2F must be the wrong room. I don't care. I don't care because I'm not here for you. In fact, I know you get a lot of shorts out of this anyway. I'm going to go somewhere not too long ago, probably. And I'm going to pop myself right in the middle of a place where normally I wouldn't go. And you know why? It ain't about ego. It's not about anything. I promise you. The only motivation of me doing this is courage. Because I know there's a few people out there who don't fit well there. And they don't know we exist yet. They don't know there's an alternative. Or maybe somebody I know. And I'm willing to go out there and do uncomfortable things just to help that one or two. And if nobody follows me out of there, that's the kind of man I am. I can look at myself in the mirror because it will happen. But I don't care if it's not that day. And that's my message to you. Stop caring. Well, people don't support me. Join the club, especially the people around you, because they're not ready to give up their benefits at work, right? And you're trying to start a business. They're partying at 2 a.m. and you're working at 2 a.m. Stop taking it personal. Just go do it. So start getting in where you fit in. That's the whole point. Like, don't talk to people about shit they don't like. Go find the people you need and don't hate on them. Leave a door open because you know what? They could have their aha moment too one day and you didn't burn a bridge being a jackass, right? That's what I learned too. Sometimes you just distance, shut your mouth, move on. And then you reconnect with people down the road, right? So, and that's it. And sometimes you don't.
This has been years. I mean, I have to say from when we first connected until now, Michael, your wisdom rating has definitely gone up.
Yeah, because it sucked. Oh, it sucked. But you know what? I need to be more coachable. I need to be more open. I not anybody else, not life, my disadvantage. Look, there's people who do far more with far less than me. Like, I got sick for 3 weeks recently and it killed me. But you know what? In a strange way, I thought about dear friends of mine with stage 4 terminal cancer, still out here grinding. And I said, they don't have an antibody. They always feel like this. And they might have 6 months to live and they feel like crap. Things like that, focus on those things. That makes me a better man. That makes me, I had a client not too long ago, passed away. A good person, but they worked and they grinded and it was stressful and they enjoyed 2 years and now they're dead. And I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Somehow I can find a way to have harmony. I don't like balance. Every time you take a step, your ass off balance. But I do like the idea of harmony. I do like the idea of not unraveling when pressures hit. I'm under a lot of pressure. But listen, my own take. If this is truly God's business and I am doing everything I can, what else is there to do? You got to let go, right? Now be real with yourself. Yeah, I got to pay the bill, but you'll find a way. Maybe it's getting up early. I'm not a morning person. Well, you better become one then. You better explore that. Self-limitations is your number one problem. So if you're at that point, hey, let's have a call, man. You know, I don't push people, but I got a group call because I can't take one-on-ones all day long. That's why I do that. Just come get the info. People are networking inside of these things, man. So come and stop. There's so many depressed people out there, so many worried, anxious people. I'm one of them. But see, I changed. That's it. You change and the world around you will change.
I like that. All right. Let people know how they can find your group call.
Oh, you can go on Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can go to LinkedIn. All right. So Redneck One on LinkedIn. It's Mike Ashabraner. We also have the Hounds of Business page. I put it everywhere. Mike at redneckfinancialcoach.com. That's a good one. So Mike at Redneck Financial Coach. And just reach out, guys.
You've heard from my mom. Now, let's switch it over to Grandpa.
What's interesting is that in order for you really to be at the top of your game, it appears you have to be relaxed. You're willing to let it all hang out. I love that you did this episode in the woods somewhere. And usually being out in the woods is for private time, but you're able to really express yourself when you're really comfortable. And I appreciated that. You brought up a very interesting subject that I'd like to comment on. My understanding is that you need confidence to have courage. You bring it up with quite a twist, that in your case, you believe that having courage builds confidence. Just the opposite. I found that to be fascinating. So I started thinking about it a little bit further. With your background of being a fireman, it puts you in the line of fire. You don't have time to think about doing something that could put yourself in harm's way, maybe to rescue somebody in the building. That takes courage. And I guess when you're put into that situation, you don't have time to think about whether you have the confidence to do something courageous. So I found that to be very interesting, because I think that's part of life, is that we're tossed and turned, and a lot of people back off doing courageous things because they don't have the confidence. By indulging and going for it and going for that brass ring, that's a form of having the courage to do it. And that would make your theory of building confidence where it makes sense to me. Those who have confidence, those that have experienced a lot of love and a lot of encouragement and have the confidence to achieve, and they have support, I believe they also are very courageous in their behavior, because they feel like asserting themselves is just a natural sending of the background that they have. I think that would make me more right, that you have the confidence makes you courageous. But look,
maybe we can get him to think about that. He'll have to think about the reversal.
But it works. It looks like it works both ways. So I did find that to be quite fascinating. And in your case, where you've overcome adversities and where you were trying to please other people, and then finally you said, I just don't have to do that. And if I want to be around people that want to team up with me, and I don't feel bad if we don't have hit it off right, I might even be able to recommend someone else to you that can offer you the right services. So the truth of the matter is that you've become a better person by being able to be confident and courageous.
Thanks for listening. Now I think I'm going to go call my dad.
I'll say goodbye and see you the next time.
Thanks for listening to the Better Call Daddy Show. Join us weekly for new episodes and more daddy wisdom.
Better Call Daddy is good advice always.
And love you, Grandpa, and love you, Mommy.
That's so cute. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can also find special episodes on my YouTube channel, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts,
On Good Pods,
Spotify, Amazon Music, Alexa, or your preferred podcatcher. That's a wrap for now.